Yes, y'all. Welcome into episode 122.
Mm-hmm.
122 of the Dunmarks podcast. It's your boys' favorite Saturday brunch back at it again. Triple threat edition this week. Chris had to take care of some stuff, so he will not be joining us live today. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. Sun's out. Bright sunny day.
I've been walking around the house hitting switches all day, trying to turn the sun out.
You're trying to turn the sun out. Look at you. Morning, Kenny. What's going on?
Morning, Kenny.
So yeah, back at it. Big week. Jason with a dope shirt again. Yeah. Taekwon, we're not putting that one up, but
I made it.
I thought you were going, Taekwon. I thought you were going to say something about even when Jay wears something black, he has to include white. But we'll let that go. But yeah, no. Welcome in, everybody. Big week to get into. We'll hop into bell to bell. Week that was. Give our Mount Rushmore for the week. Jabroni of the week. We got a nice little special edition of Pushberry release. So huge show coming up today, as always, jam-packed with a lot of info and topics to get into. As always, hit us up on social media, Dunmarks Pod, everywhere you go, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Email the show, dunmarkspod@gmail.com. Yeah, all right, everybody get off Jason's shirt, okay? We're not going to start this episode.
It's her.
I know it's her. Okay, and her is amazing.
Fine. Hands down.
Her is amazing. Okay. One of the few people in this new generation that I will listen to on a regular basis. But I'm an old R&B soul, so you know what I mean. She fits right into my bag. But speaking of her, I'm gonna transition to a little story here to get the show started. So. God. Ooh, coming in hot and heavy today. So this week, my daughter, who turned 13 at the end of January, she had her Valentine's Day dance this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So last weekend, I'm like, hey, we gotta go shopping, figure out what you're gonna wear. Like, I'm not waiting until the last minute to go out and try to find something for this dance. Saturday came and went, Sunday came and went. Wouldn't you know, Wednesday night, guess who's out running around last minute shopping? This guy right here. So I will say, I will give myself kudos on the dad brownie points because I managed to not embarrass my 13-year-old daughter while we were out dress shopping and shoe shopping and everything else, trying to find stuff for this dance on Thursday night. My wife wasn't able to go, so it was stuck. I had to carry the load. But I handled it. We got
wear your Dunmarks shirt.
We got a nice gift. Wear the Dunmarks dress. Yeah. No, but it worked out good. She looked very pretty. But man, I tell you what. Some of these girls, 7th grade, 8th grade, like it wouldn't be my daughter leaving the house with some of these dresses some of these girls had on. Not gonna happen.
So how many dances do we get now? Because when I came up, it was like you got 2.
They did a Halloween one.
Halloween?
Well, yeah, because they're still in 7th grade. So if you remember back in West, we used to have them dances. Well, I don't even know. We used to have them dances periodically throughout the year where it wasn't a particular theme, so to speak, but they would hold dances.
Yeah, prom. Maybe homecoming.
Homecoming was in high school.
High school, they still do just homecoming and prom in high school. Right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But for the middle school, they do a Halloween dance and they do a Valentine's Day dance. So
that could be their too.
Halloween, everybody went dressed up in their costumes. It was cool, a bunch of fun. Kids loved it. This one, I saw some dresses that was like, yeah, not coming out of my house, something like that. But she had a good time. Won a gift card for guessing how many pieces of candy were correctly in the jar. So close this without going over. But yeah, enjoyed herself. And like I said, proud dad moment. So I told her, hey, all these brownie points I stacked up doing this for you, I expect a very big Father's Day present coming up in June. And because my daughter's a smartass and I raised her properly, her initial response back to me was, well, you have me as your gift, and that's all that matters. So, touche, well played on her end. It is what it is. So, yeah, we're good to go. All right. Anybody got anything else for the week that was? Max and relaxing?
Yep. Ready to get into it.
Right. Let's go. Bell to bell, Mount Rushmore. Let's go. Yeah, this guy.
Have a seat.
Listen, I'm things have definitely changed from whenever I was in 7th, 8th grade. Yes, sir. Super Bowl weekend. I will be watching the game just because it's the Super Bowl. I'll put a couple bets in. I got my numbers for my big block pool, so I'm rooting for a 2 from the Eagles and a 7 from the Chiefs at the end of the fourth quarter. And as long as I get that, I'll be a happy camper. We do have some local ties here with some former high school alumni that we went to. Miles Sanders playing in the Super Bowl. Another local kid, Sky Moore for the Chiefs. He's there. So some close Pittsburgh ties to the game, which makes it a little bit more interesting. But I'm never rooting for Philly for anything to save my life. Like, not doing it. No. Can't do it. Philly, Baltimore, Cleveland, never, ever will I root for anything. Yeah. So if Miles gets a ring, cool, but I'm not going to congratulate the Eagles. I'll congratulate Miles for getting a ring. All right, so the week that was pro wrestling, huge week, at least in my estimation, big week, ramping up.
Very
good week, solid across the board from all shows. A lot of stuff happened this week, pro wrestling wise. Since we switched over to this new format and given Mount Rushmores of the week and who we felt stood out and shined the brightest and best across the board, this was by far my toughest week as far as coming up with a Mount Rushmore. A lot of great stuff in-ring work wise, promo wise, newsworthy wise. So yeah, I'm, it's showtime, and I'm still debating back and forth. Who do I want to put up on this Mount Rushmore this week? How'd you guys feel about the week itself, and was your decision as difficult as mine was in choosing a Mount Rushmore candidate this week?
My decision wasn't that hard for Mount Rushmore, but I definitely enjoyed this week of wrestling.
So I didn't get that.
That's saying that from a person who really doesn't like, watch all like that. Then I keep up with it, but I enjoyed all the shows very, very much.
I didn't get to see Dynamite. I'm still having playback issues, but I'm gonna go back and watch it. But everything else so far,
yeah. I agree. A strong week from everybody, really across the board. Kudos to MLW getting on national TV. They debuted on Reels this week, so I caught that from 10 to 11. So shout out to Court Bauer and the boys getting back up on screen. So you guys don't like anything, so that's the first. No, it's unbelievable. No, I think this week we like too much, Dave.
Yeah.
We like too much, bro. To try to pick 4 for Mount Rushmore, 1 from each of us. There were a lot of candidates on the board that could easily get it. I feel there's going to be a lot of honorable mentions if we don't have the same individuals. Baron Corbin, yeah.
I don't think he's out the door. He can revive any character. They can throw him in, and he'll make it hill gold.
I just don't think. I think from the minute that they debuted it, and you had JBL cut the promo, and you gave him the ringing endorsement, and he came out looking like Joe Schmo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're going to run with that endorsement and everything else, then you got to come out 3-piece suited up, dressed to the nines, get on the mic and talk cocky, arrogant, just like JBL did. You don't got to be JBL, but you got to be in that same breath and same vein as JBL. You can't come out just looking like you normally do on a Tuesday night and have the push work.
You came out lost and found gear.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with them 03 draft suits. I think I still got 1 or 2 hanging up in the closet.
And he could have been like, if they had let JBL do all the talking and Corbin just wrestle, it'd been money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they dropped the ball on it.
They did.
And then everything else they did after that just never clicked. Like, you put them in how many poker games? Like, just
yeah.
I was suggesting they switch managers like every so often. Like Thing dumps him, JBL. He picks up another legend manager. Doesn't work out, pick up another legend. That just be his gimmick for a while. Just say find something where he can actually be steady with.
And I think with Corbin, he's, yeah. Yeah, cheesesteaks from Geno's. I mean, yeah. It is what it is. The hate is strong for Philly, but yeah, it just never clicked. So I don't know where Corbin goes from here. He normally bodies everything that they give him, but this one definitely fell flat. So hard reset time for him, I guess, but yeah, it is what it is there.
I was thinking throw $1 million belt on him.
No.
That was my first thought with the Legend Exchange.
No.
How'd that work out for Cameron Grimes and Eli Drake?
Yeah, how to work in NXT?
Who? Where's Cameron Grimes? I haven't seen him.
I know. He's been off for a while.
Well, speaking of Cameron Grimes,
that's my wife, Dave. That's easy. That's that goes without saying.
Bounce out of the week shall not be named.
Keep watching.
All right, so who wants to go first? Where are we at with Mount Rushmore?
I'll go first since we left off on Cameron Grimes. I'm gonna go with NXT. I'm gonna go with 1, the NA title match, the North American title match, and then JJ and GC story. JJ and Gigi and Jacey's storyline continuing. But it's like with the NA title match, even if the storyline's trash, no matter what, the matches deliver and often steal the show. And that's
cruiserweights, like at WCW.
But here's the thing: this is why people were so mad whenever Dijak got called up and was T-Bar, because he can do that, right? Like that's what got him over. That's what got him over in Ring of Honor. That's what made WWE sign him. That's what got him over with Keith Lee. Like, that's it right there. Just give me that. The character still sucks. Like, the Terminator, Judgment Day character, whatever. But
Dave,
don't start your storyline bullshit because I got bullets for you. I'm still waiting. I'm stockpiling. I told you. You keep harping on that. And I think I finally found the quote of all quotes to end that debate. So whenever you want to do it, Dave, let me know. Okay, whether it's Tuesday night, in my opinion, Wednesday night, wherever. 7 days, it don't matter.
Special show.
Okay,
you bought the Super Bowl pregame.
I gave you a little teaser with what Bully Ray said. I'm stockpiling some stuff from other people, but this week I found the quote of all quotes to end the debate. So when you're ready and you want that smoke, let me know, and we can jump on to a different topic. Nice sidebar there. Good job, pro. Little rant. Get the energy boosted. Let's go. So yeah, Dijak, like, Give me that. That's what I want. You can work on the character, but in ring, the guy can go.
Yes,
So
he can.
let him be that. Like Wes is a great champion from the standpoint of fighting from underneath. And he does it differently than say like Darby Allin as a champion that fights from underneath, right? Two different ways of going about it, but both fight great as the underdog babyface champ. So yeah, kudos to that match all the way around. That was probably my favorite match on the card from Saturday night. And there were some good ones. I enjoyed the show from start to finish. I thought they had a very good showing for NXT.
Better than what I was expecting.
Yeah. And then Tuesday night, like the Bailey announcement beforehand, and I'm like, okay, something's definitely up. My only problem with it, and I saw a lot of this, was it was the exact same breakup. Like instead of a barbershop, you had the door. You know what I mean? Like instead of going through the glass, you threw it through the door. The super kick, even what Jacey was wearing with the black leather jacket, like same. If you go back and look, Shawn Michaels with the black leather jacket, like everything was the same. So I thought maybe you could tweak it a little bit to make it stand out a little bit different, but I thought it was a fitting breakup, and I tweeted out afterwards, Gigi's going to be fine. Yeah, she's not going to get lost. She's not Marty Jannetty. She's not going to get lost. But Jacey's the right one to be the heel coming out of the breakup. So
yeah,
the extra foot stomp and her head getting caught in the door was brutal.
Yeah.
You saw the pictures
the wrong way.
Yeah, you saw the pictures, the scream and the crying afterwards. Like Gigi is a full sympathetic babyface at this point. And Jacey is a nuclear heat for a heel. Mission accomplished.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, I can't say anything about that. I mean, it was great to me. I loved it.
And I saw one certain sports journalist, so to speak, talk about how them two, they weren't befitting or they weren't worthy enough of having that exact breakup used by them. And I'm like, come on, dude, are you serious? Like, I'm not going to put the guy's name out there, but if you pay attention to Twitter, you know who I'm talking about. But it's like, what do you mean they're not worthy enough to have to use that gimmick? Obviously, Shawn thinks they're worthy enough to do it. And the moment was right for them to do it. You had to do something with Mandy not being there no more. So,
and they've been the hottest thing on the brand for a year.
Right. For a year.
Then when was the last time they used that? 1993, 92, when the Rockers broke up. So
right,
you know, some people never even saw that clip before. So
yeah, if anything, this got people to do some, you know, little history research and go back and see, hey, oh, this is where they pulled it from, and this is why. So like, I'm not going to knock them for doing it, and the fact that you feel that those two aren't worthy enough to be bestowed that particular angle just makes no sense.
I mean, you got to realize everybody can't be the four horsewomen, and that's what I think. That's what they're pegging everything to be.
They want everybody to be
as to be worthy of that spot, and now.
Storylines getting repetitive too, but
repetitive. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah,
you couldn't even watch that. You didn't even know the storyline existed, did you? That happened before you was born, didn't it, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like, I feel NXT, and they've been doing this for a while. But out of all the promotions, they're the one that give the most love to the women's division.
Yes.
Majority of their shows on a weekly basis have multiple women's storylines and multiple women's matches. So if you're going to continue to push that, then I'm not going to fault you for it. like continue what you're doing. The women have carried NXT for a majority of the last year or so. So keep doing what you're doing. The formula is working. I'm interested. I'm tuning in on Tuesday nights.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not making me shy away from watching the product because you're putting too many women on the show. And it gives the counterpoint to the argument you can't have more than one women's match or one women's story going on at once because NXT is the blueprint for how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, everybody else has no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's AEW, WWE, Impact does a good job of having multiple women's stuff going on. But, you know, they're working with a smaller roster than the other two big brands.
You even got a storyline about somebody that's injured, and you're working that. Who hit Nikita?
I mean, we all think we know the answer to it, but, you know, the NXT parking lot being as dangerous as it is, you never really know.
I see. That was the whole commercial for NXT was who hit Nikita. I was like, we get no wrestling or nothing. That we're going. Okay, I'm here for it.
You can play it up. You can play it up all the way until she gets back.
I mean, you know, you think by now they'd have extra security in the parking lot as people come into the building because how many times is somebody going to get run down with a car, laid out? You know, you think that was South Central LA, that NXT parking lot? It's unbelievable. I don't even know what this comment means, but that's I popped. You know, wait, like this, Dave. Like I'm not doing the other hand motion because you're going to catch me slipping. I'm not playing that game. Yeah. All right. So NXT. All right. I'm not mad at that, Jay. That's a good submission for the week. I'm not mad at that. Donald, who you got?
I got this is a shocker. It's been a while since I said this, but my Mount Rushmore is the whole episode of Dynamite. I was very intrigued with Dynamite, all the way from the wrestling to the storylines, everything except the JAS segment, which we'll get into that with my jabroni of the week. But Dynamite, yes, I was hooked. I was interested all the way through with everything. So MJF's Takeshita, MJF's promo, Jamie versus the Bunny, Danielson versus Rouge, the trios match, the tag team title match, and even including the fan that had the big wristwatch as his belt, which was hilarious.
Yeah, try improving on the Flavor Flav gimmick of the big clock necklace.
Yes.
Right? No, Dynamite was solid from start to finish. There's no doubt about it this week. Can we get over the blood? Like
there was a lot of it.
Because it's so prevalent on a weekly basis in AEW, and this goes back to Cody, and then Mox took up the mantle. Now Mox is off TV. I don't know if Danielson is going to do it every match, but like it doesn't have the effect that it should because it's just there all the damn time. So Takeshita, I don't think he bladed. I think he got busted open hard way with that ring shot, but I could be wrong. Brian, the Crimson Mask, it was there, but like it didn't add to the match because we see it so much.
If the spot calls for it, I'm okay with it. Don't give me a singles match with regular rules and you bust it open.
This guy. It's a combat sport. There's going to be blood.
Nah, not really. We can have a fight right now with no blood. Legit.
Now you're jumping the shark with this comment, bro. You're completely jumping the shark. Okay. I'm not saying that there's not going to be blood, right? Or to stop having it. My point is that they've done it so much It doesn't add to the match. Having blood in a match is supposed to add something to it. It's supposed to make you feel a certain way. It's supposed to draw you in more, make you sympathize more with the person that's bleeding. Now they just do it and carry on for another 20 minutes, and it means absolutely nothing. So why continue to do it? That adding blood to the Danielson Roosh match did not change the fact that it was one of the best matches of the year. Takeshita, if he didn't get busted open hard way by the ring and he actually did, do it himself, like having him do that after the match does nothing. It doesn't make me sympathize more with him. And it doesn't get more heat on MJF. MJF got more heat on himself for the freaking promo he cut backstage. Yeah, multiple people calling the cops. Legitimately calling police to report a crime based on what was said. Like this is WCW back in the day when the brawl broke out in the parking lot and the police were called because they really thought that there was a brawl in the parking lot. So kudos to MJF for getting that type of response in 2023. I don't love the promo as much as everybody else did, but
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I like his promos more like that than ripping down, then like tearing down the city and saying, "Oh, I'm a free agent coming in 2 years" and all that stuff. Like, I like those story promos for him better.
Again, you're going to the extreme, pro. You can have blood, but it doesn't need to be every single week in multiple matches.
Is that me messing up the comments or no? I don't think.
This guy, Jesus. But now AEW as a whole, solid show. I got no problem putting that as a Mount Rushmore if you want to encompass it all. If you had to pick one thing from the show, what would you say stood out the most?
The trios match was what it was. 6 of them all going all out, spot fest and everything. But call it crazy, but I like Jamie and the Bunny because they finally moved the women's match into a different time slot, which was very
shout out to the Bunny. Apparently she suffered a broken orbital bone, which is why the finish was what it was. She legit got hurt again after she just came back from a broken nose. So she's going through a bit of the injury bug right now, which sucks because I think she's a very talented individual and just can't get any traction, so to speak. So
I like her.
Yeah, her and Penelope are great, and I don't know how long she'll be out for with this, orbital fracture, and whether or not it will require surgery or what. But, hopefully she comes back, and that's like the last of it for her. And she can actually hit the ground running for a little bit and see what she can do, because I don't think she's been used enough in AEW since she came over. I think the only thing that I really didn't care for, besides just having blood everywhere for no reason. What do you think of the Saraya and Tony spray paint a la NWO with the green L for loser? I just don't, it's not working right now.
No.
Like there's something missing from it. It's not making me hate them or despise them. It's just kind of like,
It seemed like how when Retribution was coming into WWE. It's like everything they're doing is like juvenile-ish. It was like, yeah, we spray painted somebody, yay, yay, yay. Like with Retribution, we broke a window, yay, yay, yay. It's just, it does nothing. It didn't they spray paint and Leva Bates. Like, when was the last time she was on TV?
Yeah, and then it's like, how long Tony been there? I can see if you just came in with Sarai and like, oh, we're the outsiders. We're taking on a roster. Now you're picking. You're trying to pick off former WWE stars, pretty much, and saying you're not the originals. We're going to beat the originals. Nah, come in and do that. Not if you've been in the brand for a year or two and already established yourself.
I get the Mean Girls aspect of the characters and the gimmick. And I feel like there's a better way to do it. I haven't been able to figure it out yet as to what I would do differently. I just know that what they're doing so far isn't having the impact that I think they wanted to have for where they're trying to go with it. So,
and then Tony is a heel. I can't buy it all like that.
Not believable to you?
No.
Well, I mean, you got a special place in your heart for her, so
I do.
You won't allow yourself to see that dark side of her.
Only one side I'm looking at.
Be fully invested.
That only one side. What side that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do we even do? We have a match card announced yet for Revolution? It's coming up in 2 weeks. Like, I mean, obviously we know we're going to get MJF and Danielson, but other than that, is there anything remotely close to being booked? I think we'll get Starks and Jericho.
I think you might even get Joe and Warlow. You might just start to play that up again.
Will you get Jungle Boy in Cage? Or would you do that on?
They're doing Jungle Boy and Cage this Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have pushed that back.
Like, what do you do with the trios? Like, I don't know. I have no idea what this card is going to look like. So,
yeah, what you do with the tag? Belts change hands. Would you get a rematch or you get somebody else up?
That's a good point. Like, do you feel Tony missed the mark by booking that as the main event to have it go off with the Guns winning the belts? Because rule of thumb supposedly is you want everybody to leave happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have everybody leave on a high note. And you took the hottest thing in your company and had them drop the belts to the Guns.
I'm here for it.
I was okay with it. I don't mind the Guns getting the title.
You don't feel it's too premature? Pause.
Nah. I mean,
it just feels like it was out of left field. Like,
I don't feel the Acclaim was supposed to be in this spot. So, you
let them have their run.
It got hot, and now it's getting annoying. Time to move on.
And then now the Guns got the belts, so they was messing with FTR before this. So FTR come back on a huge.
Well, do you think that originally they were supposed to be the ones to beat FTR?
The Guns?
Yeah, because you just said that the Acclaim wasn't supposed to be there. They were based off of how over they got and how much the audience got behind them. Do you feel that that the Acclaim was the swerve and the Guns were going to win it all along? It's just instead of them beating FTR, they beat the Acclaim for it.
I don't know if it would have been the Guns. I think that if it was for FTR, they would have still had the belts. But I don't know what their vision was. I'm sure it wasn't the Acclaim at the time.
People cooling.
Yeah, I was like, "What?
Fixed it."
I was even trying to read that from like a dad joke perspective. Like, I still don't get that one. But yeah, well,
and I was expecting a daddy ass turn.
And that's where I thought, okay, main event. You've had the therapy session. You weren't there for us. You didn't love us, and everything else. Even though we saw like a mini daddy ass turn originally, whenever the four of them broke up. and then he switched back to the Acclaim just because of the scissor me daddy ass and how over that was. But you didn't get that. You had him get knocked out with the belt, and then they won by sneaky heel stuff. But it wasn't a clean win. But I don't know if I would have put that in my main event spot with the other stuff that was on the show. Is all I'm saying. So, anything else Wednesday night or even Rampage last night?
Man, nothing for Rampage.
So, my Mount Rushmore, as I said, this was probably the most difficult week for me to figure out who or what I wanted to put on it. Everything that you guys have both said so far were in consideration, even individual segments from shows and that we covered already. Initially, Monday night came, and I'm like, man, my Mount Rushmore's done. It's Cody and Paul. There's nothing better than that, right? And then the week progressed, and I'm like, all right, Wednesday night, I'm like, man, MJF's there, Danielson's there, like that trio. That's like, all right, got some more stuff. I'm like, well, let's see what last night has. And you get Sammy and Paul, and then you get Sammy and Jay, and I acknowledge you, and I'm like, oh, okay, really, like, man. And then I wake up this morning, and I remember, oh, New Japan. Loser leaves Japan match. So my Mount Rushmore this week is going to be Jay White. Him and Hikuleo put on a hell of a match early this morning. Jay White lost, so he's officially done with New Japan. He will make his date next week against Eddie Kingston for Battle in the Valley, and I believe that is his last contractual obligation to New Japan. So let the rumors swirl where they may, and let the chips fall where they may, and see where the Switchblade era goes on to continue from here. But as I was watching that match this morning and thinking back, is Jay White the most decorated foreigner in New Japan history? If you're going to list foreigners in New Japan, do you put Jay White as number one? And if that's the case, or if you may have some hesitation here, let me just, run through some of the stats. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, IWGP Heavyweight Champion, IWGP Intercontinental Champion, IWGP US Heavyweight Champion, never Openweight Champion, leader of the Bullet Club, the catalyst of pro wrestling, as he likes to say, showing up in multiple companies, doing multiple 5-star matches. A lot of people would say maybe he didn't carry the ball as well as what was expected of him, but when you start listing off the accolades in the resume for Jay White, kind of hard to put any foreigner above him unless you're going Kenny Omega.
If you're going decorated, and he is the most decorated, I'd say yeah. The most buzzworthy, I don't think. I think Ospreay has more of a buzz than Jay White.
There's the dad joke I was waiting for. Different overweight champion, you know that, yeah.
Said Ospreay. No, I say Jay.
Buzzworthy wise?
Oh, buzzworthy.
Yeah, I mean, if you saying if he's the most decorated and he's the most decorated, yeah,
I say most decorated for sure, because he started with the dojo. And he worked his way up. And he got all those titles and everything, like something like, AJ when he came in, he got the heavyweight right away. And then the IC. He didn't get the neverweight and all that other stuff.
And most of your foreigners that have come into New Japan over the years have just come in and been there for a short period of time for a couple spots. whether it was Brock winning the heavyweight title, Kurt Angle, you brought up AJ. But if you're talking longevity wise, and I mean, you got to go back to, years ago, whenever you had like Stan Hansen over there, and those guys, to even put up a debate, I would guess, just based off of the tenure.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because everybody wants to compare him to Omega, and recency bias based off of what Omega did with Okada and everything else, and the tenure that he had there. Jay's on my Mount Rushmore, but Mount Rushmore wise, as far as foreigners in New Japan, he would be up there as well. I think you would have to have Omega there. You'd have to have Jay White there. I feel Ospreay is another one that you could, argue and debate to put up there. And then if you want to have a fourth somewhere that I don't know about or can't remember, but it's really interesting to see where he's going to go and where he's going to land, because he wants to sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
I got no problem with him betting on himself and going out there and saying, all right, I've done everything I can in New Japan. I built it up. I've been with the hottest group in pro wrestling the past decade. Let me see, just much like Kenny Omega did, let me see what I can do from a U.S. States perspective and see if I am who I think I am.
Where would you put him and how would you book him?
Damn.
Based on what he's done in his career to date, I mean, the obvious place would be AEW, but Vader's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Vader would,
Mm-hmm.
Stanton, Vader, or Hansen, Vader, like Brody. Smart money would say AEW just based off of what he's done in New Japan, but I honestly feel like he wants that WWE spotlight.
Would you attach elements of the club to him, like an AJ? Or would you just let him go straight Switchblade J?
Well,
He's not going to be, Switchblade J. But would you let him do his own?
That's going to be parts of it anyway, because he was Bullet Club for life. So anywhere Bullet Club, you're Bullet Club.
Yeah, but I think WWE's willingness to step in and acknowledge people's careers before WWE now with Hunter running. I mean, we saw it at the Rumble whenever they put up the graphic for Reigns and KO, and they had stuff listed for Owens outside of WWE. Like, acknowledge it. The fans aren't stupid. Like, they know.
Mm-hmm.
But that WWE universe, the diehards tend to be in the bubble, so they may not be aware as much as what Jay's done outside of WWE before coming in. I think if you bring him into WWE and you put him in the right situation, a la Jericho coming over and being with The Rock right away, night one, which is why I think you hold off. If he does go to WWE, you hold off until AJ's healthy.
Mm.
Because you put him in there with AJ right away and it's, okay, good, we're golden.
Mm-hmm.
Or you do it with, like, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of individual that's been there 7, 8, 10 years, that's known WWE. People don't even remember Tyler Brack from ROH because that was how long ago. But you got to bring him in and put him up against the top of the card right away to establish him as a guy. Don't have him do the slow build, the NXT route. Like, no, I don't need none of that.
Just like Jericho.
Yeah, like to me, Jericho coming in night one with The Rock going back and forth on the mic, like that instantly made Jericho a guy. So do the same for Jay. Put him in there. There's a handful of guys that you can line him up with, and then night one, boom, he can be established as a guy, and you can then see what he does from there. looks wise, promo wise, in ring wise, I think he'll be fine any promotion he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just whether or not he can catch on with the audience in one promotion versus another. AEW, he's already there. You don't need to worry about him in AEW. Like, that fan base knows. So, but if he wants to prove himself and step outside of his comfort zone and try to get over elsewhere,
Bank on himself.
WWE to me would be the most challenging for him. So, but if you haven't watched that match, go watch it. I got a new respect for Hikuleo, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again to see. Okay, did Hikuleo step his game up, or is that just Jay being that good to make Hikuleo look better than what he would normally look?
So with the rumors about both of them too, this was a toss-up match, was it?
Yeah, it was a toss-up because the rumors were that, you know, them two plus Tama Tonga were all rumored to have interest from WWE with their contract situation. So time frame wise, I knew Jay's was the earliest one to be coming up, but that don't mean that Hikuleo and Tama Tonga aren't on their way out as well. And then if you do that, see, my worry is if you do that and you bring them over, then you'll get into the silliness of the OC versus them three because you have I don't need that.
Keep the OC out of everything.
I'm right with you.
But yeah, I think Jay, maybe you hold off Jay for the night after WrestleMania if he is coming in. You know, that's lost some luster over the past couple of years with returns and debuts and whatnot. It's not as
a shot in the arm
prevalent as it was or as must-see TV as it was. So I wouldn't be mad if they debuted him night after. Hell, even if you bring him in night after and he takes out Cody. I'm not going to be mad at it. There's ties there. There's history there they can lean into. And you'd have him go up against the champ right away.
That'd be something I wouldn't expect from WWE.
Yeah.
You mean your next IC champion? Man,
yeah, I was not happy with that last night.
I'm pretty sure we all wanted Del Phantasmo.
Yeah, Santos. And I tweeted out this morning. They had a WWE digital exclusive with Santos and Ray in the locker room after the match. And Santos cuts a hell of a promo about Ray and the respect. And he tells a story about his father, who's in Lucha Libre. He's a second-generation guy, took him to a show. And he told Santos Ray was going to do big things in this industry, in this business. And cuts a hell of a promo. He gives Ray his mask as a sign of respect. Ray gives him a mask back, and it was perfect TV that would have done great wonders for Santos to have it on the show after the match. Why are you making it a digital exclusive? Put it on SmackDown.
Shooting yourself in the foot with some of this stuff.
Yeah, those are the types of things that I see time to time from WWE. And it's like, okay, yeah, you need digital content. We all get that, but some stuff you got to recognize after you shoot it. Hey,
this better on TV.
We're gonna air next week
on TV. Yeah, this is better on TV. Like
next week on SmackDown.
Let's turn this. Yeah, let's turn this tape around real quick and run this. You know, post whatever. Because it was only like 2 minutes long, if that. So like, wasn't going to take up a whole bunch of time. But it is what it is there. So, all right. So we got Mount Rushmore out of the way this week. Chris did not send in a submission. So besides who we gave, anybody from the audience watching wants to chime in with a Mount Rushmore candidate, or if we have Anybody else from the three of us that we'd like to nominate that we haven't discussed?
Cody Heyman. You just said, man.
Look, everybody, these guys know I hated Paul Heyman. I hated all the way up to, I want to say, through Brock. I hated Paul Heyman through Brock. And he attached himself to the bloodline and then turned me around. I'm a Heyman guy.
I thought they were very smart in choosing to do what they did to garner interest in Roman versus Cody.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because if they would have held off and not done that now, the cries for Sammy would have gotten louder and louder and louder.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they still won't be there, but now you have me hooked and invested in Cody and Roman.
Exactly. Yep. It was like, there's a whole different story to this.
Right. A whole different story. You see that, pro? Story, investment, ties. 1, 2. Not just because there's two names and they're having the match. But yeah, Cody and Paul stole the show. I thought Heyman stole the show all week in WWE. I mean, his work last night was great.
Oh, his work was good.
You know, we talked about Jay not coming back until Elimination Chamber and costing Sammy the match, which is how we get to Sammy and KO versus the Usos at Mania. They can still go that route. But I'm not mad at them bringing him back last night, how they did it, set it up. And like I said, the interaction with Jay and Sammy backstage got me even more intrigued as to where they're going to go now. Because, you know, Paranoid Roman, does he see that? Does he know about it? Is he, you know what I mean? Like
the ending of SmackDown just had me just like thinking. I was like overthinking everything. Like after it went off, because it was like you get a different view when you're watching from home.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
yeah, because you don't see all the TV cameras.
But I'm like, why are they having a secret meeting in front of cameras? And why are we acknowledging this? We're supposed to be suspending disbelief, whatever. I'm like, it had me just like overthinking shit.
It was good. It was, yeah. Just Heyman just like manipulating little T's here, little specks here.
Good way to write them off for not being able to make it to Canada.
It's very true. Very true. Yeah, we know how that goes. So besides that, I think even though I went off base with a New Japan submission, I think the other one that I would nominate just would be MLW. Like I said, getting on a national TV channel, it's not easy. They've been working hard at it for a really long time. And to be on Reels, I think will help their product tremendously. Jacob Fatu is still a goddamn star. This dude, like, I know he's locked up and MLW pays him well to be locked up, but man, like, there's so many people I want to see him get in the ring with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad he's on national TV so more people get exposure to him.
Now, where can we find Reels?
So Reels is on Comcast.
Okay.
It's on YouTube TV. So yeah, it is there. But yeah, just kudos to them for getting on. You know, hopefully it works out. Hopefully they can garner an audience. Hopefully they can, you know, have numbers go up and up. Yeah, so I would throw I'd throw MLW into the mix as well, just from the standpoint of another promotion being on TV. You know, goes to speak to the health of pro wrestling right now, even though ratings numbers are being argued between certain people online, a la Disco Inferno and some other people, to say that wrestling's not as popular as it used to be, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's not 96 whenever you only have 45 channels and there's no DVR recordings and everybody has to tune in from 8 to 10 or 9 to 11. Like
And everybody only had like one VCR in the house too.
Yeah, so like that's what it was. All right. Mount Rushmore's over and done with. We got the good out the way. Let's hit up Jabroni of the week this week. Pro wrestling wise or outside of the world of pro wrestling, who is your Jabroni of the week?
Inside of pro wrestling, my jabroni of the week is anything JAS. I'm sorry. Anything they put their, like anything they do on TV, they put their hands on there, right? It is just tuned me out altogether. I feel bad for Ricky Starks that he had to deal with them. I do. Like nothing they do excite me whatsoever.
Jay?
I didn't have one.
No jabroni this week for you?
I can't even think of one outside. No.
Mine's outside of the world of pro wrestling. I got Anthony Davis as my jabroni of the week.
Nah.
This man is the only man in a 20,000, 21,000 seat arena that continued to sit down when LeBron James broke the all-time scoring record. And then you come out with some bullshit response to say, "Oh, I was mad we're losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder and we weren't playing well." Come on, bro. You've been in the league how long? Now you all of a sudden want to get upset taking a loss to the Thunder? You barely play 35 games a year, dude. You injury-ridden, broken bone big man.
Did you hear what Reggie Miller said?
Yeah, stand up and acknowledge the moment, or at least have the sack to say, "Yeah, I sat down because I'm a selfish dude and I'm not playing well and I got benched."
Yeah, Reggie Miller killed me when he fell over and he was grimacing. And Reggie Miller was like, "Oh, AD's grimacing. That means 3 weeks out."
I mean, come on, dude. What are we doing here? Like, there's literally an all-time, a 39-year-old record that nobody thought would be broken is being broken. And in that moment, you're the only person in the city of Los Angeles that is sitting down.
I agree.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I saw people with Jordan with the shot over Russell, no phones out versus all phones out. And it's like
there was no phones.
97, there was no phones to be out. Like there was no phones to be out. Like you gonna be mad if somebody has a Polaroid at that moment? Like
there was no cell phones.
But I get it. I've been to sporting events where like I haven't had my phone out and I've just lived in the moment and I still remember the moment, you know, like the Jesse James catch versus not a catch against the Patriots, you know, a couple years ago, like that 2017, I think it was or whatever. Like I was there still like, remember, you know what I mean? And that's something that's not going to go away. So I think we got to get off the whole, everybody got their phones out. It is what it is. It's just how life goes right now. Like everybody's going to record it and put it up on social media to flaunt that they were there. But I can see, you know, there's that one camera shot, everybody's standing up and everybody got their phones out. And I forget who the guy was, but he owns something. He's
Phil Knight, the Knight guy.
Phil Knight, yeah, Nike. He's the only one that don't got his phone out.
Yep.
Everybody else, he's the only one.
At the moment. He's just like, just live it in. What I need the cell phone footage for.
You just take a memory on your phone.
My other jabroni of the week was also outside of pro wrestling, and it was a toss-up, a coin flip, and AD was heads, so he got the nod. But my other jabroni of the week is Brett Favre. You're suing Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for a defamation lawsuit based off of comments that they said as Pat pointed out in his rebuttal to the defamation lawsuit live on his show yesterday, your alleged involvement, allegedly taking money from the welfare people in Mississippi. So, yeah. If you haven't seen it, go over to Pat McAfee Show's YouTube and just watch the 8-minute video. It's hilarious on how they responded to it. Tremendous stuff there, but yeah, would be my other jabroni of the week this week.
How do you have this?
McAfee's gold.
Gold.
McAfee is gold.
Yeah. All right. So that's Mount Rushmore Jabroni of the week. Are we ready to get in the Pushberry release?
Yes, we are.
All right. All right. So you know the game. It's a spin off of the famous Step Brothers F Mary Kill scene, which is hilarious and still one of the funniest things ever of all time. But we put a little pro wrestling spin on it. So Pushberry release out of these three wrestlers: Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Owen Hart. Who are you pushing? Who are you burying? And who are you releasing?
I am pushing Eddie because no matter what, I could watch Eddie Guerrero match even when I didn't even know who he was. He just got me watching. I don't know.
Ty, you're taking the game too literally. We can't have that. Like, I didn't even think about that whenever I put the list up and I gave the submissions. Like, jeez, oh man.
I am burying Kurt Angle, and I'm releasing Owen Hart.
Reasons.
I was never an Owen Hart fan, ever.
Wow. Oh well, he has the same last name as Brett, so that would be why.
I was still never. I hated Brett.
You just hate the whole Hart family. You hate Canada.
Brett.
Just think of it. You hate Canada.
I was just
even
never.
though it has the most, color of your shirt. You hate Canada.
Drake is from Canada.
Don't sip your Pepsi after you drop Champagne Poppy's name. Talking about that's why you love Canada.
Light skin's got to stick together.
Light skin's got to stick together. This dude's unbelievable. Donald, who you got? Pushberry release.
I'm gonna bury Kurt Angle. No. I'm releasing Kurt Angle because I think that if he wasn't in WWE, he could have made it anywhere. I'm burying Eddie, and I'm pushing Owen.
None of this sounds right word-wise.
No, that's the whole point of the game.
None of this. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. These three are so great in so many ways. And I think the why I grouped them the way that I did with these three in particular, because not only were they great bell to bell and could go in the ring, from the entertainment aspect and comedy and pro wrestling and everything else, like the silliness. If you watch these three guys, like they did it the right way to where it wasn't cheesy or overdone. Like they were entertaining as all hell in different spots throughout their career with just personality, timing, everything. We got to push Kurt, Guerrero, and release Eddie.
A lot of different views.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. I'll push Owen. I'll bury Kurt and release Eddie.
Okay.
To me, Owen. The reason why I'm pushing Owen is because he's one of the handful of names that should have got a run with the belt at some point, and should have been given the opportunity to be the guy. But I think because he was as good as he was, a la like Mr. Perfect, Jake Roberts, Rick Rude, Roddy Piper, like, do they need a belt to justify? No, but they're one of the people that, in today's day and age, even though I hate the chant that you deserve it, I would have liked to seen one title run out of Owen because I think it would have been tremendous. Just look at what he did with the damn Slammies. You give him a world title, you think that's not going to be entertaining? Like, so yeah, that's my reasoning there. And then Kurt and Eddie, it's really a toss up. I wouldn't release either one of them from my promotion if I had one, but if I got to pick one, I'll let Latino Heat go, and he can thrive elsewhere. Same with Kurt. I mean, he's gonna.
But out of those three, I could see Owen being like a Christian type person with longevity in the business.
You said Christian type, and my mind did not go to Christian Cage. So I'm thinking Christian, like literally Christian. I'm like, okay, this is a different angle from Jay
Christian.
to take a faith based.
Or Jericho. I didn't want to throw Jericho out there because Jericho gets on my damn nerves.
Yeah, no, Owen would have been your Randy Orton, he'd have been there forever. So yeah. But there you go. Push Bay release, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Owen Hart. Hit us up on social media. Let us know which one you would push, which one you'd bury, and which one you would release. All right. Anything else? No? Nothing else? Yeah, let's get into the end of the show. We'll wrap it up. All right. Thanks for tuning in this week, episode 122 of the Dumb Marks Podcast. You can find us anywhere on social media. Hit us up, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Email the show, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. Dumbmarkspod. Dumbmark. Pick up some merch. We'll give you a live shout out on air. Again, each and every week, we thank you guys for tuning in, rocking with us. We enjoy it. Comments are great. Keep them coming. Head on over to never mind. Find the audio version everywhere you listen to podcasts. Quick final thoughts from me. One, had a match announcement from Impact Friday, February 24th, 8 p.m. Bullet Club. Ace Austin, Kenta, Chris Bay against Time Machine, Kushida, and Motor City Machine Guns. 6-man tag. Slapper. Don't want to miss that. Tune in for that. That's going to be a banger of a match. No pun intended from Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I do have a quote here for Eric Bischoff, and I know Pro would want to get into this. We're not going to do it right now, but I got it saved off, and I think we'll wait till Chris comes on as a separate topic because I just want to get his viewpoint and opinion on it as well. So I'll save that for a later date and time to be named. And then New Japan and Impact announced the Multiverse United. Only the Strong survive on March 30th from the Globe Theater in Los Angeles. So WrestleMania weekend. 2 of the matches announced right now are Josh Alexander versus Kushida and Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey. So, WrestleMania weekend, we get all the collabs, as we like to say, in the pro wrestling world, forbidden doors being broken down, so to speak. But those are 2 matches I'm interested in seeing. And I believe Mike Bailey has a lineup himself that's like ridiculous. So he's fighting Ospreay, he's fighting Vikingo, and then there was a third one. And he's fighting 2 in the same day and then 1 the next night. So, like, his WrestleMania weekend, I feel like he's going to steal the show as being the most talked about individual coming out of that based off of the lineup of matches that he's booked in himself. All right. Anything else? Nope. All right. Thanks for kicking it with your boys again. And as always, a quote of the week for some positivity in your life. First, know your worth. Second, control your emotions. Third, never settle. First, know your worth. Second, control your emotions. Third, never settle. With that being said, thanks for tuning in again. I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. Till next time, y'all can catch us around the way.